I think Grab stock is about to jump and make a really big move until the end of this year. And I have put a lot of my own personal money on this bet that Grab is about to get something like 50% up until the end of this year. And don't worry, I'm not trying to pump the stock. First of all, because you cannot really pump a $20 billion company with a YouTube video. And second of all, convincing a couple of you that Grab is going to go up has nothing to do with the theory that I'm working on. So today I want to tell you about what I think will happen, any facts or suggestions how I arrived to this conclusion, and then we will talk about kind of how I invested in this and how I see the whole situation unravel. Hello and welcome to the Market Monkeys channel. My name is Vadim. Today we are talking about Grab. So for those of you who don't know, Grab is the biggest car sharing, food delivering, and recently also financial service company in Southeast Asia. It operates in Indonesia, in Malaysia, Philippines, Vietnam, and all of the Southeast Asia region. It's by far the biggest operator there, but Grab has a competitor, and its competitor is the GoTo group. GoTo group operates a service which is called Gojek. We have been to Indonesia just a couple of months ago, and when we saw the service of Gojek and we saw the service of Grab, we immediately went back and kind of tried to look at the financial to see if the company makes sense, because we were so impressed with the service of Grab. And apparently the company is amazing. Like, financials are really good, the growth is good, the profitability is good. So everything seems really, really nice. By the way, if you haven't heard of Grab, if you want a kind of overview of what the company does, the businesses it operates, the plans for the future, go and watch Julia's video on this channel. She made a pretty good breakdown of the whole company, so you probably want to go and watch this video after this one. So there has been rumors of Grab acquiring GoTo company, acquiring Gojek, and effectively just cornering the market, basically becoming a single monopoly in Indonesia in the whole service of ride sharing and food deliveries, stuff like that. This makes a lot of sense for Grab as a company because, well, they will control more than 95% of the market, so they will be able to control the pricing and they will be able to really boost their profitability. Again, Indonesia is a huge market. It's more than 1 billion people and most of them are using these services, so this deal really makes sense for Grab. But what about antitrust law, you might ask? And you will be absolutely right, because in 2018 when Grab and Uber made a deal and Grab just basically kicked Uber out of Southeast Asia in exchange for some part of Grab company, Grab was fined for monopolizing the markets in a bunch of countries: Philippines, Vietnam, Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore. So yes, antitrust is a major roadblock on the way. And also Grab as a company, in one of their recent reports, have publicly stated that they have no interest of acquiring Gojek as a company and that everyone kind of should relax and take it easy. But there are a couple of things which happened recently, and I'm basing my whole investment theory on these couple of things. By the way, if you find this information interesting, valuable, press the like button, subscribe to our channel, and you can become a member of the Market Monkeys channel. So let me tell you my conspiracy theory. So just recently Grab has offered a senior convertible notes worth $1.25 billion due to 2030. Well, nothing seems really suspicious, right? Like, companies usually they need money to grow, they need money to operate, and there's nothing suspicious about that. The problem is Grab already has $6.1 billion cash on its books. Actually, they have so much cash that 30% of Grab's market cap is essentially cash. You might think, why does this company need additional $1.2 billion in cash when it already has more than 6? And then Bloomberg broke the news that the antitrust regulator in Indonesia is starting to work on looking at the potential deal between Grab and GoTo, and the deal will be valued at around $7 billion. So you can kind of see the 2 plus 2 slowly but surely becoming 4. And after that, either Bloomberg or Reuters, sorry, I don't really remember the source, broke the news that newly created Indonesian sovereign fund, so basically the fund of the government, they put money there and they are trying to kind of invest in a bunch of businesses. So newly created Indonesian sovereign fund is looking to take a minority part in this deal in the newly merged company between Grab and GoTo. By the way, if you want to read more about Grab, about their business strategy, about their financials, Julia has a very comprehensive article on Grab. I think from all of the articles on Grab in the past couple of years, this one has kind of gained the biggest popularity on the site. If you're interested to go check it out, the link will be in the description. Now, if you don't have an account for Seeking Alpha, we have affiliate code, and this will give you $30 discount for Seeking Alpha subscriptions. So basically what I think had happened is as follows. Grab and GoTo were not going to make a deal because antitrust would effectively block it. But then Grab had an amazing idea. They decided to go to Indonesian government, and in order for them to give them access to the deal, they offered a minority stake in the newly created company. I think it was approved, and because of that, Grab wants to raise additional cash for its cash balance to be more than $7 billion and effectively buy GoTo pretty much all in cash and start operating GoTo right away, and not to think about leverage, and not to think about interest expenses or giving back its stock to GoTo shareholders. So GoTo will only receive cash. So now let's talk about what I did with all of this crazy conspiracy theory that I have created for myself. So what I did, I loaded up on Grab call options with the strike of $7.5 per share. So this is something like 50% more than Grab is currently trading at. And the deal, so I heard a couple of sources saying that the deal is gonna close in Q2 2025. Obviously, it didn't happen, but it looks to me that the deal might be closed this year already. So my options are for January 2026. Hopefully until then the deal will be closed and the stock of Grab will kind of jump. I think it will jump for sure because, again, Grab effectively becoming a monopoly in the market with more than 1 billion customers. So as soon as this happens, I will need to take a look at the financials, take a look at what the management of the company communicates, and to understand if I want to take Grab's shares and invest in them in long term, or this will be just a quick trade. A lot of money would be great, but I'm just not sure if the company will be able to absorb this huge merger successfully, because mergers of such magnitude are usually a very complicated thing and they do not always work out for best party. So far I'm treating this like a, let's say, midterm trade until the end of this year, and we will see if I will be continuing investing in Grab in 2026. Hopefully this was interesting, this was informative for you. If it was, press the like button, subscribe to our channel, and we will see you in the next video. Take care.